Hello and welcome to another Side of Fries. I'm Sean Bonet. Today I'm going to be talking about the buzzwords and the arguments that pro-choicers use, those who love abortion. You'll typically find they have a certain verbiage and way they frame their cause, their movement, and it's really annoying to me, so I thought I would break down some of the things that they often present. So Planned Parenthood is a death mill that's very popular in the United States, gaining traction. They kill many babies a year. However, they don't frame themselves as such. I think faithful Christians try to bring light to the demonic operations that are going on within those facilities. And they try to cast light on themselves in order to say, no, that's not true at all. So you can go find videos of Planned Parenthood with nice, calm, godly music playing behind them, shots of them being normal people at normal jobs, caring for people in loving, non-judgmental ways. But all this is a facade. It's all a strong lie. And you see the lie in that presentation of, I'm just working a normal job and caring for people. And it's really that word care that they really latch onto, and it comes in a variety of forms. So they might say, we're providing care to women and men too, don't forget, and young people, especially the young people. They're a health center. They are a health service. And that they want people to have bodily autonomy, and that these services are essential and right. And that to deny a woman such services is just not American. It's not just, it's unfair, it's not progressive, it's not going in the right way. The problem with all of this is recognizing the institution itself is a very ungodly one, not only for its murderous events, but also the worldview that drives all of what it does. So you'll hear we provide care and we provide service. And when we hear that, we're like, you mean kill babies, right? And they say, no, we do more than that. In fact, abortions are just a small portion of what we do. We provide cancer screenings, birth control, sex education, STD testing, and the likes. And you think about, let's consider what Planned Parenthood offers in those other realms besides murder. Sex education. Joffrey and I just watched a dreadful video about sex education from Planned Parenthood. Within the Planned Parenthood worldview, they see no real distinction, meaningful distinction between man and woman. It's definitely something that can be chosen, that can be created in your own design.
Is there any real distinction between man and animal in their worldview?
No, they're animals. And so part of that difficulty is when you don't know what a man is, what a woman is, what they're for, who they're from, and where they're going to, you're not going to know what the point of sex is. The issue is that they're providing sex education. Sex education is great. Talking about sex is wonderful. Sex is awesome. But from a non-Christian perspective, it's a very deadly thing. Just like wine is a wonderful thing, it's a very powerful tool. And the same thing with sex and sexual attraction, sexual desire. All these things must be handled with very carefully. And if you're not doing it from a Christian perspective, you don't even know what you're doing, because sex was created by God himself. So I don't want their sex education to continue. Their sex education is bad. It's not good. So that service is out. And when you consider in the realm of birth control, the birth control being provided often is just as dreadful as the abortions themselves. And they may advocate for, well, we're passing out condoms or other sort of alternatives that are not destroying life. But that's missing the point of, again, you have to keep the worldview in perspective at what angle are they coming at you from this, from. You can't talk about preventative sex if you don't know what sex is. If you don't know what people are, this line of logic is completely broken. So I want to advocate that when you hear these words of essential, right, care, service, the needfulness, the tone of we're so loving and good, and why do all of these bigoted, just very mean white men, why are they trying to tear us down? Well, it's because you're tearing people down. You're not making mothers into women who will care for their family. You're trying to deceive them and wipe away any sense of shame and guilt from their conscience. And that's a really bad thing. You can't present yourself as a non-judgmental group and say it's a virtue when there should be some judgment into what's going on. So I hope that would be an encouragement in the sense of don't be swayed by these words that sound well. Don't be swayed when you see the nice music and these women who claim to be midwives talk about how they care for their patients.
Those midwives are witches, Sean.
Witches. Now, all that to say, don't be swayed by the demonic facade, the theater of it all, and forget our Christian positioning towards the individual women being made victims of there. Our job is to care for them, but we need to care for them in a very delicate way. So pray for wisdom. Be in conversation with your pastors and your fellow congregants so that you might care and advocate that lives would be saved, yet also shaming this institution until it's fully decimated.